The Muppets 2011 is a great example on how to reboot a franchise. Prior to this film, the last major Muppets production was Muppets from Space in 1999, and it made exactly $0. The Muppets 2011 was first pitched to Disney in 2008 by Jason Segel and Nicholas Stoller, and while the House of Mouse had some reservations about Jason Segel leading the production as he had just shown his Muppet in the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall, accounts of the pitch meeting claim Segel cried when they brought out Kermit the Frog. Perhaps because of Siegel's passion or because of the corporate necessity to capitalize on nostalgia, Disney gave the green light to a new Muppets film. Brett McKenzie, as known from Flight of the Conchords, was brought on to do the music for the film, of which there are many bangers and bops, but don't take my word for it. Just look at the hack frauds in Hollywood who gave the ballot Manor a Muppet an Oscar in 2012. Ignoring the fairly generic plot of the film, of having to get the gang back together to raise $10 million to stop evil oil barons from taking over the original Muppet Studios, there's themes of nostalgia, how it inspires people, but also how things you love from your childhood could hinder you from growing up or hold you back from your true identity as you associate yourself with a product or a brand. This is best exemplified in the characters of Gary, portrayed by Jason Segel, and his younger brother Walter, as Walter attempts to join the Muppets, and Gary has to decide whether he should continue to live in the past with the Muppets or move on to marry his longtime girlfriend Mary, portrayed by Amy Adams. Additionally, the film asks what it means to be talented as Walter struggles to find his place with his new companions. The film respects the original Muppets mythos, while still trying to provide enough new content to intrigue the audience. Kermit and Piggy's romance is still there, Fozzie still says Waka Waka, Kermit gets to sing Rainbow Connection, Gonzo fucks a chicken. There's fan service, but the format has been updated to be more akin to modern values. It's self-aware. It's all the rage. Bask in your Muppet mediocrity, the film says. Additionally, the film parodies musical tropes that it itself buys into, such as the idyllic small hometown, flashy suits, and the town that knows all the dance moves. At one point in the movie, they play a riff on Rainbow Connection, sung by Fozzie Bear and the Muppets, an off-brand Muppets band that sings a song to promote a hotel they work at. Yes, it works as a joke, but also it symbolizes the Muppets brand prior to this film was a hollow shell of itself. It continues to poke fun at the rather cultural relevance of the Muppets. While people can recognize Kermit the Frog, perhaps just from his memes, or maybe even Miss Piggy, the Muppets as a brand didn't seem to resonate with people as of late. No one's clamoring for a return of Bean Bunny. Well, I mean, other than me. While Sesame Street's still being produced today, and at one point we all knew the theme song to Elmo's World, I think the reason the Muppets don't seem to prosper lately was the Muppets never had more to say other than, we're puppets, and occasionally we're funny. Now look, it's a celebrity guest. While Sesame Street taught kids values, colors, and numbers while also tackling harder topics like parental incarceration or even death, the fact that they tackle topics like these ensures Sesame Street's going to be around for a long time. However, the Muppets' new format of tongue-in-cheek comedy with just enough music to keep the children happy, it really works. Gone are the days of Muppets masquerading as Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. The Muppets now sing Nirvana while shrinking Jack Black's head and take on evil capitalists trying to rob us of our childhood. Silly capitalists, you have to repackage our childhood and sell it back to us, not destroy it. The success of The Muppets 2011 allowed for a sequel with 2014's Muppets Most Wanted. While that film continues with the same vein of humor, it didn't seem to resonate with audiences in quite the same way, making only half the box office revenue of the previous film. And after a failed ABC show, the future seemed dubious for our felty friends, until it was announced they'd get a new show on Disney's new streaming service, but a major motion picture still seems unlikely. If the new show understands what made these last two films so good, and doesn't try to make The Office but with puppets, maybe it'll stick around for longer than a season. Times like these, it'd be nice to live in a world with more Muppets.